in this example, I did give you an extreme case where I'm doubling your money every year. Most people can't double their money every year, even a great Warren Buffett. But to give you a more realistic case, oftentimes, say when you're investing in stocks, you get, call it a 10% return a year. With a 10% return a year, and if we were say, all right, we're going to be able to save $100 a month. So $100 a month, so that equals $1,200 over the course of a year. So most of the time when we think about equities or stock investments, they say the average rate of return is about 10% a year. So now we're gonna create a scenario where we're gonna take that $100 a month, $1,200 a year, and we're going to just continue to invest that every single year. But on top of that, we're going to be able to make 10% on our money. So again, at the end of year one, when we put in our $1,200 plus we made our 10%, we have $1,320. So in this particular scenario, once we get to the end of year 10, we have, or excuse me, once we get to the beginning of year 10, we have $17,924. So we've only put in $12,000 over those 10 years, but we built it up to 17,000 because of the money that we've been making on the rate of return, the 10%. And we're making that on every single dollar that we're putting into the investment portfolio in this case. And then if we go back to at the end of year 20, now we're talking about a situation where we had $68,730. And we had that $68,730 on only $24,000 of our own money that we put into the account. Again, the account's been able to grow and compound over time because in addition to the money we're putting in, that money is making money. So you oftentimes hear about people talking about stacking their chips, they're stacking their bags. This is exactly what they're talking about. They're stacking their bags to allow their money to make money for them. So that was kind of the foundation of what I wanted to speak to today: discipline and time. Implement the right discipline to your strategy where you're spending less than you make, and give yourself as much time as possible. I know in this particular chat we have individuals from 12 to 26. So those 12-year-olds starting to put some money away right now. Before you know it, you'll be 32 years old and a millionaire. So that's all I have today. If you have any questions, definitely let me or Mr. Edgar know.
Great. Before we go on to our activity, I did want to open, since we covered a lot between you two presenters, open the floor for questions. Does anyone have any questions from the audience for the presenters?
I do.
Go ahead.
My name is Caitlin Davis, and last time I went to a STEM camp and we were presented with the same topic. I had a question about how you can help your credit card. And what I'm talking about is debit card. How you can improve your debit card.
You said improve your debit card?
Like your debit or credit score.
Okay, your credit score. Okay, yes. So the primary, the main item that they score your credit on is you making your payments on time. So if you are disciplined, again, about making sure you make your credit card payments on time, that will vastly improve your credit score over time. What I would say, and then Mr. Edgar may have a view on it also, oftentimes you just have to pay that minimum, but paying the minimum is going to have the banks charging you an interest rate. So you want to be able to pay down your credit cards as quick as possible. So if the credit card company is charging you 15% on your credit card, you want to pay as much as you can afford to pay within your budget, so then that you get charged less than that 15%. By paying down your credit cards, paying them on time, that will vastly improve your credit score over time. So that will be my main advice. paying your credit card payments on time, and then also paying down your balances as quickly as you can. I don't know if Mr. Edgar, if you have any additional thoughts around that.
Yeah, I could explain that real quick, the difference between both. It'll be real fast. So the debit card part of it, as far as eligibility goes, as long as you have a checking account, you can get a debit card at any time. That process would be started obviously at a bank, whether it's online or going in person with your parent. There's no age requirement to have a checking account. So it simply is either going in, either once you turn 18, or going in with your guardian or your parent to get that started. Now, as far as credit goes, as I mentioned, there is an age requirement of 18 and higher. The way it works is for credit is there's 3 credit bureaus. The financial institution, what their job is to report to the credit bureaus, which are all 3, as I mentioned. It's based off of making that payment on time, and last but not least, how responsible you are with that product. And what we mean by that is the activity that's being utilized, making sure that we don't exceed the credit limit, making sure that we're utilizing it, and last but not least, the pattern in how you're using it. Credit looks at multiple payments, if you can make them, on time and paying off the full balance. And last but not least, if you're able to sometimes pay the minimum balance. It'll look at those 3 things, and from those 3 things, it will determine what your credit score is, which again, the financial institution is just the agency that's reporting it. The credit bureau is the one that's in charge of giving you that score.
Caitlin, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for that question. Do we have any other questions?
Yes. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, how much percentage of your money should you save?
Yeah, I think I think everybody should try to institute a discipline of saving 10 to 20% of your money with every, like I said, every paycheck, every birthday gift that you receive. And also do it at the front end. I think a lot of individuals where they get into trouble is that, you know, say you get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks, but with their $1,000, they go out and buy a dress or a purse or shoes or sneakers or whatever it may be. And then at the end, they're trying to say like, oh, with what I have left, I'm going to save that. But oftentimes they don't have anything left. So in saving your money, I would say once you get paid that $1,000, trying to save anywhere from 10 to 20%. So anywhere from $100 to $200 of the $1,000, then allows you to budget with the rest of the money. So now with the $800 to $900 you have left, after you've paid yourself first, you can implement a discipline now. You can buy what you want, but you've already saved the money you were looking to save. So my rule of thumb is always trying to save 10 to 20% of your income. But the more you can save, the more you could invest, the faster that money can compound, and the faster we can get to those numbers that we talked about earlier.
Okay, thank you.
Allie, did you have a question?
Yes, so so obviously I know that we're not allowed to have a credit card until the age of 18. But my question regarding that was, so with the overdraft fee on a debit card, if you are a minor, what happens if you accidentally spend over the money in your account? I was just curious.
I can answer that one. So as far as how that works is every bank has different fees in place when it comes to overdrafting the account. It's a product that does not report to the credit bureau, but it still holds you accountable for it. And if you don't use the account wisely, and what I mean by that is it goes off into what's called a charge-off status. Once it goes into a charge-off status, and what that means is you overdrew the account and you never satisfied it back to a zero balance to either close it or continue using it, the bank writes that off as practically a loss. And that's when it goes against your credit. But as far as the fees go, I'll just use Bank of America as an example, the bank I'm employed under. We have a account that does not overdraft. And last but not least, it's assigned to all students. There's no fees on that account. And as I mentioned, it won't let you overdraft, which means there isn't any fees and it won't go past the zero balance. So that would be something that would really say, check with the institution that you are looking to build a relationship with. And if overdrafting is one of the things that we're maybe primarily focused on and avoiding, make sure that it's an account that's best suitable to you and that will best fit your needs.
Thank you.
In that particular case, Bank of America is often a great product that doesn't charge overdraft. But Ali, one of the things that in talking about earlier and putting money into savings, by taking the money that you make and allocating 10 to 20% into a savings account, some of the banks allow you to use that savings account as your overdraft. So they won't charge you because it'll pull money out of the savings account. So that'll be another way, another idea as far as creating this buffer for yourself that will allow you to tap into your savings automatically as opposed to being charged overdraft fees.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?